There we go. Chad, the whole thing, my head, it's just my head. Okay, well, there's some Trump in there, and there's some of my. You can see. Oh hell, you see the shoulder. Trapezius. That was one of my customers the other day. Chad was like, he's like, I'm liking the. He's like, I don't even know what that's called. Like, traps. He's like, yeah. And today I went to this gas station and I got some gas, but I also got some chocolate milk because I had to cut out the candy because I just a few videos before, maybe 2 videos ago, I'm like, can you imagine growing up eating candy? And then I ate a lot of candy. I bought Sour Patch Kids. This Indian guy, he upsold me. He's like, you got to way better deal if you get 2. So I got 2, and I had to. I gave Chad 1. He'll eventually eat it though. One of them was the one I ate was like gummy bears and Sour Patch Kids. Maynard's gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, sour cherry blasters.
Sour cherry blasters.
Yeah, cherry blasters. Pretty damn good stuff. However, it feels like you're like scraping your teeth with steel wool when you eat that, and it also gives me an insane head bump. My head, normally is already huge, but then after I eat right here, it's like, see, you can even see some head gains from eating all that candy. But anyways, I stopped in and the Indian lady, because this is Canada, even though U.S. is probably the same. There's no way people don't work in the variety stores, and so she's like. You get big like that, you're going to stretch out to ruin all your undershirts. It's a small price to pay. Brubdar. And anyways, that was her. Maybe she was probably giving me a compliment, but she's not my type. But chocolate milk's fucking good. Hell yeah. She's like, do you need a straw? I got the 1 liter one. Do you have a straw? Do you have like a fucking 2-foot straw?
Well, you could use a straw that they have at the slushie machines.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. But I don't, drinking out of a straw is just gay. I'm not doing that. What do you, that's like, if you're doing it as a joke, like in Big Wolf on Campus, when the guy has his bendy straw that's like 20 feet long, and there's like a million bends in it. I don't even know if he'll be able to find it, and I'm not going to try to even find it because I don't even want to waste the energy. But there's this show on, I don't know, YTV. They play it at like 10 p.m. Big Wolf on Campus, and the guy turns into a werewolf, but he's a good werewolf, okay? And one of his friends, the scene is, because it's like a comedy. It's kind of like Buffy, but with a werewolf instead of a vampire hunter. And the guy's like, yeah, real mature. And then he goes over and starts sucking on his bendy straw. And he's 25, 22 years old. I really liked that show when I was a kid. Yeah. So, I had a busy week. Today was another good day. Basically, if the weather's not, I got done about 30 minutes earlier than I normally would, maybe an hour earlier than I normally would. So, and I felt compelled to upload a video. And so, I'll tell you about my training, okay? And even though I've been shitting on bench basically since I started uploading videos, I'm gonna start pushing bench. And so, what I do on my bench days is take an extra scoop of pre-workout, because Chad was doing some total destruction at the Good Life deadlift competition here in town. He won. Good, go figure, right? 635, and then he did 650. He tried 655, but he hasn't been bulking properly, and so his grip gave out. Because when you increase the calories, the strength in your hands immediately go up, because you're holding on to so much food. So he won a bunch of things, a bunch of supplements, and he won some candies. I told him he could have those. I'm done with the candy. And now I'm doing chocolate milk because I'm doing this high carb thing. I in the Patreon video I was talking about, like, oh no, this just feels wrong. It feels wrong if you're eating candy, but bagels, ciabatta buns, fucking bagels, hell yeah. Ciabatta buns, chocolate milk, cereal. I ate some Chex. I didn't get the right checks though. I got the corn checks. You want to get rice checks. You don't want to be eating corn. Although there's this Oreo cereal that I saw at the grocery store, and Oreos is just like that's my weakness. Oreos, because when I was a fat fuck kid, I really loved Oreo. I mean, it's like the best thing ever. But there's the Oreo syrup. Chad says it's no good, and it's made out of corn. Oreos are made out of corn. I'm like, if it was made out of wheat, I was like, hell yeah. But I saw the corn. I don't even know if you can absorb corn. So I got the corn checks. They were like honey checks, because this guy commented, and he's like, rice checks with honey or syrup or dextrose powder or something like that. I don't need to go that crazy with the calories. What you do, instead of putting in the honey and the syrup, you just eat a shitload. I just had 2 bowls as a fucking snack.
The Oreos,
what?
They have that. They shred the top of your mouth.
Chad doesn't know how to chew. Yes, but yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch does that. Because some things you're like you mix them around your mouth because you want to get the full flavor spectrum. Because supposedly your tongue has different flavor. There's different areas have different. They can sense or make you appreciate different flavors. So, anyways, I can go. Cereal's so easy to eat, and I can eat like the skim milk with the cereal. It doesn't even make a difference, because that's another thing is I stopped drinking whole milk. Now I go with 1%, or I have skim milk, and it's still fucking delicious. With the skim milk, because it's it's flavored by the cereal. It's kind of like soup. Normally vegetables suck, but when they're in a soup, they're suddenly good. Like French onion soup. I don't like onions, but if it's in French onion soup, it's fucking good. And but yeah, I'm a cereal monster. Like Sam Sulek. I mean, I suppose in total volume he probably ate more cereal. But at one time when I was a teenager, I think I was 14 or 15. Got up. This is back in the WoW era, so I was probably already awake, and I was hungry, so I had 7 bowls of Cheerios. Child's play. I probably could have had 12. And yeah, so my last bench workout, I got to start recording those. I'm doing another one on Wednesday. I bumped up the weight. I stopped doing sets of 8. I'm doing sets of 5, and I'm going to see how far I can take it. It's going to be a really slow progression, and I like this high carb thing. It really helps with the energy, and because I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that I haven't had. I guess I had full muscles probably like 1 or 2 times throughout my entire steroid usage, because I was doing low carb the whole time. And the only time I was really full is when I did my 800 for 2 the first time, which was when I was so full that I could barely fucking breathe. And then probably one other time, but that time for sure. That's when I got up. I guess a few times, because I remember I get a pump from standing up. And so this higher carb thing, oh yeah, it's good. Part of me is like, okay, I'm afraid of being insulin resistant, but the main thing is the different, like, there's people that are eating the way I eat, and they've done it their entire lives, and they're fucking fat. They're fat, disgusting pieces of shit. They have diabetes. But the difference between them and I is that I also eat healthy things. I take health supplements. I take apple cider vinegar pills. I take other things that improve insulin sensitivity. I stopped the acetyl L-carnitine because I ran out, and I'm like, okay, I probably got to give my gut a break from this TMAO buildup. And it's also like weirdly sour because I had the powder form. But 10-minute walks. They don't do 10-minute walks. They do. They eat and then they just sit and watch. What the fuck? I was gonna say Antiques Roadshow. They watch Pawn Stars. They eat a lot of food, then they watch Pawn Stars, or they watch the game. Imagine watching people who are in peak physical condition and who have the reflexes of a cat, the speed of a mongoose, and the wit of a. You're watching these people that are at the top of their game, okay? And then these people are like sticking their hand in a bowl of dirty nuts, eating fucking chips, and drinking beer. And then complaining that the guys aren't doing well sometimes. have you no self-awareness and shame? Please. I think professional sports, watching them is for fucking retards. Right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in the playoffs, so that means all the Canadians, well, the ones in Ontario, are they're all gung ho about that. At least they were last year. Yeah, if they make it to the next round, then we'll see how big it gets. I'm gonna always have to vote against them because I'm a natural contrarian and I just love people being in misery. Well, the people that I dislike, and so if you're a professional sports enjoyer, then I'm not really sorry. Carl and Carl Jr. I got a hell of a tan. Well, I got a hell of a burn. It turned into a tan, thankfully. This lady today, another lady, because I wore a wife beater when I was working, and I wore one yesterday too. She's like, so what do? You just like, when she's talking about aerating the lawn. Maybe she meant rolling. This one guy is like, what do? You just lay down and roll around? She's like, how do you aerate? Do you just like put on some spiky shoes? What the hell is she saying? Oh yeah, and she's like, hey, and I was at the back, I was aerating her in her neighbor's place. And she's like, hey, are you thirsty? You want some water? I'm like, no, I got some milk in the truck. And she's like, oh, are you sure? She's like, I was thinking, maybe I'll make you a protein shake or something, but you're probably like, oh, I already got one. Yeah. Hell yeah. Your fucking customer said it to you? Probably not, fucking pipsqueak. You see that, white boy? That is power. And one thing if I'm doing a longer drive when I'm going to my next job, I think I can fix my wrist just by forcing it into supination, okay, and then trying to push it further every single day because I'm pretty sure the muscles just got hurt and then they atrophied because I wasn't using them. That's what happened to Chad's shoulder. That's probably what happened to my wrist too. This might have been, although he hurt his shoulder after I hurt my wrist, but it was like pre-karma. It was pre-karma. Okay, because I hurt Chad's shoulder when we were arm wrestling because I was letting him win and he was in a really weird position. He was in a flop wrist press. Okay, and he had me. I don't know. I was down at a 45-degree angle, and he was like, ah! And what does he do? Is he gonna beat me? That was the first mistake. Last mistake. No more mistakes. And another thing recently was there was Metallica, the Metallica concert at the Rogers Center, because one of my cousin's son-in-law, so I guess that makes him my cousin's wife, my second cousin's wife, whatever. But anyways, Metallica. Lots of people that are into it like the Black Album, and that's when the Black Album is really good, and it's a milestone for metal production, and they are really good songwriters. But just the amount of playtime and basically the amount of playtime and also what the band became, although they were probably it's like seems like destiny. Not like. They're boomers. And Metallica is boomer metal. They still have stuff that's sweet. Creeping Death, Whiplash, Master of Puppets. What's another good one, Chad? In the older era.
I like For Whom the Bell Tolls.
For Whom the Bell Tolls, that's a classic. Battery. Seek and Destroy is a really well-written song. But yeah, boomer metal. It's a real shame. It's kind of like Van Halen, how Eddie really didn't make anything good for so many years. He had some good stuff with Sammy Hagar, but there was so many years where there was just nothing, and then he had the album Tattoo, the tattoo on it. I can't remember what that one's. Van Halen 4? No, I remember there's Van Halen 3 with Gary Sharon, I think his name is, or whatever. The guy from. Can't even remember what band it's the guy with he's getting shot in the belly with a cannonball. That's the cover art. There isn't anything good on that, from what I remember. But yeah, it's like they haven't made anything good since 1991. You give me fire, give me that one time. Like there's that, and then there's just all the James Hetfield ballads.
Ballads?
Yeah, there's so many fucking ballads.
Oh, is that what's that?
It's just him. It's him going like this. Okay, so he'll have his mic in front of him. I wish I had. Oh, there's a vacuum cleaner. Fuck yeah, perfect. You see that power? Okay, so it'll be James Hetfield, and he'll be like this. Okay, he'll be bent over. Which was this higher? Okay, this is me. I'll be picking my guitar, and he's like, "You the thing," and he's like making out. He's like caressing and serenading the microphone at the same time. And I just did that as an excuse to show off my shoulder game, but no, that's what he does for real. And I hate the Metallica ballads. I mean, Fade to Black, whatever. And then there's the other one from Black Album. Is Fade to Black on the Black Album? I don't think so. There's Call of Cthulhu. That song's fucking sweet. But people, and when my customers was going to that, that's how you know. If there's certain people liking a certain thing, that's how you know it's bad. It's like my sister telling me that I enjoy Hotel Transylvania. Not that it's when or my friend, he tells me to watch a movie or watch anime and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, I've written you off. What would the cost be? You haven't even told me where you live. What size the property is. What would the cost be? Just a minute. I'm going to summon the spirit of Charles Xavier. Okay, drawing a blank, unfortunately. He doesn't work on Mondays. So, yeah, you ever get that where somebody, they tell you to watch something and maybe you do watch it or maybe you already know it's bad, but then you're just like, okay, you have no credibility anymore. What's another good example? What movie? The anime ones, that's the thing for me, anime. And especially the time sink. It's like, oh, you can't watch an hour and a half movie that's like tremendous, but I gotta watch anime and turn into a fucking pedophile. I swear that's the anime. It just turns you into a weirdo. It just makes you gay and weird, or more gay and weird. You see that autistic kid get you see the cops reenact the opening scene to RoboCop with that autistic kid. Yeah, you know, might have been a little bit of overkill. Okay, might have been a little bit of overkill. And I wonder if there's going to be an internal affairs investigation into this one. It'll take 6 months. I'm not laughing about the kid. It's just that's the bureaucracy. I've heard a story from this other cop that there was this thing that should have taken like 5 minutes to figure out, but it was a 6-month investigation. Are you fucking kidding me? And then they'll pretend, they'll tell you that the bureaucracy is just to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Okay, and that it was, there's no doubt left over that, this person was guilty, this person was innocent or whatever. Get the fuck out of here. Please. You're just justifying your fucking bullshit job.
I don't think that's just the police because...
what, bureaucracy? No shit.
Well, no. But I'm saying like, because where I work, a guy, he just got suspended last week.
Yeah. For
something that happened back in November.
Yeah. So you have who investigates HR?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Infernal Affairs. You watch that movie? It's all right. Chad's never seen that one, but apparently it's a classic. It's got Tony Young, and it's got Andy Lau. Is that his name? Hong Kong guys. And there's a dirty cop, and there's the undercover internal affairs guy. It's been a long time since I watched that one. It's probably been like 10 years. But yeah, that was I mean, I know they have regulations, and it seems like once one guy starts shooting, then everyone shoots. It becomes like it could be one of those sorts of things, kind of like I don't know, hive mind mentality. But I mean, you've probably already seen the videos or in the people commenting on the thing. But you know, you hear these things, and it's probably a cliche, but it's like, I mean, yeah, he's running at you. There's a fence in the way. I don't think he was big enough to knock the fence over. It's in the fucking ground. It's a chain link fence. I mean, there's the thing people say, like, why don't you shoot him in the leg? It's gonna slow him down, okay? Or disarm him, okay? You know, you go to aiming school, okay? The driving range, okay? He's doing a Jim Carrey move. He's got the freaking knife, okay? Bang! Shoot the knife out of his hands. I've seen it in many movies. But
shoot the knife out of his hand.
I don't know. Just you didn't have to shoot him 500 times.
Yeah,
I heard
he was a threat. He was just asking for a hand.
Yeah, apparently there was like some guy. I don't know. This was way back in the early WoW days. There's a guy telling me on Vent that the cops, I don't know how many cops there were, but they reloaded their. I don't even know how they were. I don't even know why they were carrying so many cartridges, or so many magazines. They reloaded like 10 times each of them, and were shooting this guy.
Well, you gotta make sure.
Yeah, they watched. I don't know. It was like a Pai Mei situation. If there's this movie called like something of the White Lotus. It's the Quentin Tarantino took the Pai Mei character and turned him into the character that he used in the Kill Bill movie. But he's invincible. His entire body is invincible except for one spot, but nobody knows it. So they're fighting him. So Gordon Liu and his buddy. Gordon Liu plays Pai Mei in the Kill Bill movies, but he's the protagonist in the White Lotus movie. And so what they're doing is they're like punching him, and they're trying to punch him in the balls, okay, and maybe they are punching him in the balls, but it's not doing anything. And then they're trying everything, and he's just like he's just like invulnerable, okay, except at the end when he gets like a dart through his hand, and apparently that's his vital nerve, so that would be like hitting him in the heart, okay, and then I'm pretty sure he gets hit in the hand, he gets stabbed through the hand with a dart, and then drops dead.
I see, maybe that.
And so maybe they were trying to do that. They're trying to hit his vital nerves. They're like, I watched the White Lotus.
No, one of the cops was Bugs Bunny. The other one was Yosemite Sam. And every time the cop would put holes in one kid, the other cop would just fill him up with corks.
That is a pretty funny Looney Tunes bit with the can when he shoots shoots the corks back into the holes. Yeah, or there's the one with. The guy, he's like, let me pull your cork on his pistol. And he's like, or there's the Hillbilly Hare, which is a fucking classic, where he's like, you're done, varmint, tie a knot in my barrel. Because they have these guns that are like 12, the barrel's 12 feet long. He ties a knot in it. And then when the guy unties the knot, he gets shot in the face. Oh, boy. So, yeah. I just got another message. Yeah, we're going to see how far I can take bench, and then everything else will go up. If I can fix my wrist, then I'll be in powerlifting shape. Because the plan is to get my bench up to a decent number. Because right now it's no good. Even at my best, it's not good enough for my body weight. And then I'll push squats after I get to my bench, do my bench peak, and then I'll be ready for a competition, I think, next year. Assuming I fix my wrist, because I don't want to do hook grip. I hate hook grip. It just hurts my thumbs a lot.
Today I did 20-hour squats because my back's still kind of tweaking.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, when Chad was doing the 655, it didn't slowly roll out of his fingers, and immediately it just popped out of his hands, and that gives your body a hell of a jolt.
Well, on the left side, just my left hand. So I kind of I shot back on the one side.
Oh, okay,
and that's the side that I initially tweaked the very first time when I was using the trap bar. Like,
okay.
18.
That's your tender spot.
Yeah.
That's your vital nerve.
And every time I've sneezed today, I've been in a lot of pain. I felt like I blew my back out.
So you're avoiding pepper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost bashed my head off the cupboard.
I see you in a bit.